recorded in front of a live studio audience.
This is a Matos Designs production.
And I am not done.
I like your line. I like your prices. But there's a problem. There's no guarantee on the box.
You can't hang out with chickens and expect to soar with eagles.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
An electrician got your light worker.
And now your hosts, JR and Brian.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
What's up, Brian? I just now noticed that Carl added in the welding helmet flip at the end of that video. I apparently missed that last week.
You didn't see that? Didn't you watch the link you sent me?
I did, but I must have quit when it showed the guy where the professionals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just thought that was the end.
Have you seen the new Iron Man welding mask?
Yes, that's pretty cool.
Is that cool or what?
It's very expensive. I already.
I'm gonna have to break out my Harbor Freight welder just so I can get that mask and use it.
All right, we got to make this quick because I have to go on vacation. Remember?
Where are you going?
With my mom for her birthday trip.
Oh, that's right.
You know, my mom goes and retires and makes a travel agency, and then she turns 60 and vacation's crazy. Actually, it's a vacation for her birthday, but it's also there because they have their own travel agency now, my dad and her. It's like a training thing, so we get to go on a bunch of different cruise ships and do all this stuff.
So we all got the rest of the week off then? That is sweet.
No.
What? Huh?
Not at all. I wonder if Elijah could hear us right now, if he's just waiting in the waiting room. So
Elijah, man, I'm going to be sick for the rest of the week, brother.
Oh. So we are bringing in Elijah. He is our warehouse guy, and him and Brian talk a lot because Brian is the customer service guy. So we're going to bring him in here right now and ask him a few questions so everybody could get to know him. And then we are going to go through me and Brian in our normal questions that we ask guest, because
did you cut out or did I? I don't hear anything. Was that you or me?
I fully muted myself because I coughed. Never mind. I thought I was just pushing like the temporary mute button, but I muted myself. That's why we're triers. But yeah, we're going to go through the regular questions with me and Brian because it's been a while since you guys have talked to us, and some of you don't even know who we are. So I still am screwed up and looking at the monitor to the side. I'm going to fix that. Promise.
You would think you would fix that, but now, I mean, you're going on vacation. So next week, everybody, it's going to be the exact same way.
No, it's not. It's going to be fixed today. I have stuff. I'm going to fix it before I leave. But here's the cool thing. Speaking of next week, do you want to know who our guest is next week?
Who's our guest next week?
Lee Lindquist.
Right on.
Founders of Experience Lights. He is no longer with the company, but he's going to be on our podcast next week. It's going to be a great episode. So,
a fellow native Kansan. Can't go wrong with that.
So, all right. So, Elijah's just sitting there waiting in the shipping area. So, we're going to bring him in and start asking him some questions.
This is why nothing's going out right now.
But way to bring that to everybody's attention, Brian.
Yep. Hey, you trust me with going live.
Hey,
so,
what's up, guys?
What's up, Elijah? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So, have you actually seen Brian's bearded face in person before?
Only time I've seen it is in the little Facebook profile picture. That's it.
Oh,
you stalking my profile, dog?
No, I see it because we're in that chat.
Wait,
wow.
I should switch it to my non-bearded face.
What?
Last year when I didn't have a beard.
Oh.
Nobody knew who I was. It was awesome.
Anyways, this is how the podcast goes. Random stuff randomly. So Elijah is our warehouse guy. He is in charge of getting most of the orders out of the shop and boxing them all up and stuff. So let's learn a little bit about Elijah. Why don't you let us know if we're saying your name right? Because my dad surely says your name wrong all the time because he gets
You guys are saying my name right.
all right. Because he gets you confused with this guy that used to work with my wife, Isaiah, and then he gets confused and he might call you that randomly because the two names are hard for.
No, he's gotten better at that. He's called me Isaiah a few times, but
That's why. It's because there was somebody else that my wife worked with that was named that. So, why don't you let us know how old you are, where you're from, and how long you've been handling packages here?
yeah. So I'm from Gilroy, California, and I've been handling packages here for maybe about 6 months, 5 or 6 months now, and 19 years old, so still pretty young, and yeah, I'm enjoying it here.
Even with Brian, because he's sometimes hard to work with.
Even with Brian.
Cool. So, what is the hardest thing that we ship out to package up?
Hardest thing to ship out?
Yeah.
I would definitely say it's probably been the 8 or 12 foot trees.
Oh, the tilt ups?
Yeah.
And the flight cases?
Those are definitely the most difficult to package and ship out. They're pretty big and heavy, so
Yeah. And no matter how much we try to make them like perfect, UPS tries to screw up.
We package them well before they go out. We do our best for sure, and then by the time they get to UPS, they throw them around and damage them. But we try our best to package them well.
Yeah, actually, Elijah is one of the best people we've ever had do this. Right before him, we had 3 people do his job.
Oh,
and
God.
he is still doing better than the 3 combined. Brian remembers that.
Oh, yeah.
They were difficult.
They were.
And I thought they were going to be good. They were hockey players. And I thought, oh, hockey players, good work ethic. You know, like, no, just on hockey. Just on hockey. So, but yeah. Any questions for Elijah, Brian, that you think people would want to know? Because I'm sure he's loving sitting here being on this right now, too.
I am totally drawing a blank. I even got my notebook out to jot down some stuff, and hey, dude, that's all I got.
All right.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's Brian, and that was Elijah. I guess we could let you go now. We could go into questions about me and Brian. Since you don't, well, you did do a light show this year, huh? A little bit. You took some RGB decor props home with some testers, right?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
He's getting a little bit of light show going. And did you ever put lights in your truck?
I tried, but the connectors that we were doing, it didn't work as I thought it would. I was trying to hook it up to my stub. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't hook up the way that I thought it would. So but I still ended up using the lights for something else outside.
Nice.
So it worked out.
Yeah, he has a little Ford Ranger, and we gave him some seed lights and some testers to try to wrap it like all those people on TikTok. And it was going to be cool, but we were going to hook it up, the voltage, into his amp. But we also decided to do this 3 days before Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a last minute idea. So no big deal. But yeah, he's been playing with lights. He's new to all this. He's never done a light show, but we're gonna get him into it a little bit. But yeah, thanks for coming on here for a few minutes. Let people know that there's actually people boxing orders, real people.
Yep.
Not some Elon robots yet.
Yeah, no way I
get them
back in packages.
Yeah. All right, dude. We'll see you. Thanks.
All right. I'll see you guys.
Later, bud.
All right. So, Brian, it's been a while, and some people don't know who we are. You know that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's every year there's a ton of new people coming into the hobby, so which is awesome. But
Yeah.
we haven't done the show for a while, and
Yeah, some of them don't know that professional triers. The name came from a Zoom room we used to frequently hang out in, the brew tank. And one of our friends, Jay, made a sequence, right? And he showed a sequencer it, and the sequencer said, "You tried."
it was
And then somehow, with us drinking and hanging out in that room, we told him that he professionally tried.
yeah.
And then the professional triers was that was the name.
Was born. Yeah.
And then originally it was me and Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vinny got too busy for us. And then it's been me and Brian ever since then. And seems pretty good, right? Brian likes it. We have fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
People
it's fun.
mad at us when we stop doing it, so it must be something all right. You know, there's 12 people that watch us, so we're good.
Yeah.
As long as we keep those 12 people happy, we'll be doing good. So who do you want to ask questions first? Do you want me to ask questions first?
It don't matter. You start, and
all right, Brian.
We'll play it from there.
How about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I live up here in Montana, married to my wife for 21 years. We have a 17-year-old that's getting ready to graduate and a 12-year-old. My son, daughter 17, son 12. I'm retired Air Force. My last duty station is where I stayed. I got up here in 2001 and pretty much been here ever since. I've been all over the planet, all over the world, at different times with my travels. Spent 5 years over in Italy before coming to Montana. I do a light show. It's about, well, when I have a light show, I didn't have it this year because I was dark, made a lot of people in town upset or sad. But it's about 30,000 lights. I am a Ray Wu guy, which is tough working for a boss that's M-Connect and X-Connect.
M-Connects are better.
They are. The M-Connect are sweet. I'm getting ready to start building some new controllers, and I think it's going to be all M-Connect. So my order will be going in soon.
It's better. Okay.
They do. They snap together a cinch. I mean, push them together, snap it in, and you're done. No twisting. You don't need any tools to get the nut off of it or anything like that. Pigtail nut. They're a lot smaller. They're easier to work with. They hide real well. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
So who or what inspired you to get into this hobby?
YouTube. And come to find out, and I'm totally going to brain fart his name. I used to watch YouTube every Christmas time. I'd put it up on the TV when the satellite service provider had YouTube on the service, and I would put Christmas songs on with videos. And there was Tom Bet George, the little guy down in Utah was probably my favorite to watch. Oh my gosh, what is his name?
Richard Holdman.
Richard Holdman. There we go. God, Richard,
guy.
I'm sorry, man. I'm old. I'm forgetful. I got CRS.
Jordan Nash.
Oh yeah, Jordan Nash. Yeah, but look at that. I got so excited I popped my earbud out. But yeah, I used to watch it forever. On there, and then we built a house out in the country because I used to live on a one-way, which was super busy. I just did a regular AC lights on it. Moved into a camper for 15 months and put more lights on the camper when we lived out the KOA, and we built a house kind of out in the country. It's about 7 miles out of town, and we were doing that same thing, watching YouTube and videos on it. And wife said, why don't you do a show of your own? And that was Christmas 2017. 2018, I got to know you and Vinny and a whole slew of folk and just started getting into it from there. And Christmas 2018 was my first show.
Very nice. So should I go before we
what,
go to the section?
I was going to throw the question right back at you.
All right.
What inspired you way back in the day? I already know the story, but
I go through everything else on the list and then I'll get to that.
You want to do that?
Yeah, we can do it the right way here.
By the seat of our pants, man. Okay, what's next?
I am J.R. Matos, the founder of Matos Designs, and I'm married to Cecilia. I have 2 kids, Johnny and Faye. Faye is my oldest. She is 10, 9. Oh, geez, I'm going to screw that up. And then Johnny is John Robert Matos the 5th. So we call him Johnny 5. And all of you older people are going to know what that is from Short Circuit. And he is 7 and he wants to have a clothing company. It's J5 Clothing Co. J5.clothing is his website. And he's making some stuff for his baseball friends and uniforms and all that stuff because he's all about that and sunglasses. I professionally play for Christmas lights for a living. And I live in Morgan Hill, California, which is just south of where our shop is in San Jose. Our shop is right where I grew up on my family's orchard. We also build food processing machinery in this building for big companies that Pepsi own, like Frito-Lay and stuff like that. And every pickle, this is my biggest problem in this industry, is pickle and pixels. Sometimes I confuse the two and say the wrong word. But every pickle that is put into a jar in the United States and some other countries is cut on a machine that was built in this building. Nobody ever notices this, but we have a machine that cuts the ends off the pickles so they fit inside the jar. So everything is cut on a machine that was built here. So that's a little bit about the shop where I did what. How long have I done a Christmas display? Since I was 13 and I am now 40. So it started with just huge a TLC show. Long time ago. I don't know what it was, but there was a show on TLC and me and my grandfather watched that. And we went to Home Depot and Lowe's and Orchard Supply back in the day and bought everything after Christmas that was 80% off. And that was the jump. And then we had a kid in the court across the street in a wheelchair who couldn't go. He could go ape shit about the lights. So then I even went crazier with the lights and crazier until I covered the whole damn front of the orchard. Ended up on that TV show, The Great Christmas Light Fight. I lost, but no winners have companies. Just saying. All the losers do.
Yep.
Tom, James, all of us losers have companies. So we did that. Yeah, I did traditional blow mold AC lights for years. It wasn't until, I don't know, 3 years before I was on Light Fight that I started doing pixels. Maybe 4 years. I had pixels like here and there and tried them, but it wasn't until I had like a full on pixel display, until then, which was a Mega Tree. So that's all that stuff. Last question on the first section though for you, Brian. What is something nobody knows about you in this hobby or may have forgotten from our past times we've asked this?
Oh, wow. I'm like an open book. I think everybody pretty much, or most people know. I have, what did I say last time?
I don't
remember.
remember.
Like years and years ago.
Yeah.
I'm a Dodge guy, but I drive a Tahoe right now.
Wow.
Because Ram isn't coming out with their stinking Charger wagon. Ah, darn it. No, I don't know.
Interesting fact, Brian.
I joined the Air Force in 1992. How's that?
That was a long time ago.
Ooh, in 3 more days. 92, 5. It'll be. Never mind. Moving on.
What was the math? Come on.
92, 35 years ago.
Wow. I was
35 years. Yeah. Yeah. Check
Anyway.
my math.
We'll go to that. Something nobody knows about me in this hobby. Well, most people know this, but it's been a while since we talked about it. I used to build hot rods and show trucks. Had stuff go to SEMA. That's kind of how we ended up at SEMA before, is kind of the old relationships, and we put the light up floor that Pascual makes in SEMA last year. I used to do that, and then I used to be a pro BMX racer. So cool things. Was the number one 15-year-old on the West Coast, won the Gold Cup. It was fun times.
Nice.
But yeah, all right. Let's go to the next section here. What do we got? All right, Brian.
Yeah.
Would you like to skip this since you didn't do a display this year?
I could always talk about my previous display, but it doesn't matter. Either one.
Can you do it fast? Because it is a speed round. Can you remember what your previous display was?
Sure.
All right, let's go as fast as you can. Let's see.
Controllers, I use Falcon controllers with some Culp, and I had a couple Matos. Whoa, you can't do that.
Yeah, I can.
Software, I use X-Lights, of course. I am a Raspberry Pi guy, so my player is Raspberry Pi FPP. Pixel count was in the 30,000 range, maybe 25,000, something like that. I use all 12 volt. Pigtail preference is very woo, but it is going to be changing. Useful hardware. Because my yard is like the size of a football field, I use a lot of cattle fencing, a lot of T-posts. That holds up my snowflake sets and my arches, along with the which is probably the most popular site or thing on my site show is the nativity scene. I have the full set from Biscoyo, and it's not sequenced with the show. It is just doing I'm going to say butterfly effect with sparkles in it to set it off to the side, and then the show is going on around it. So that is in a nutshell.
Very good, Brian. Good job. All right. I'm going to do my speed round. So
Okay.
I have 3 F48s. I have 2 F16s, one with an expansion board. That's for the big daddy tree. And then I have 28 4-port Dragon brainless receivers that we were testing this year on there. And then 2 Falcon 16-port I guess smart receivers with the ABCD thing, the overcomplicated smart receivers.
Yeah.
I hate smart receivers. Like, no, I don't know. It makes it too hard in it. And I use X Lights and I use X Scheduler with a computer because that's what I like to do. And that's what I like to have customers do, because then I could call them and have them check it on a computer. And it's just easier. Me and Brian are different on this. We've talked about it forever. I used Evos, Kraken, and RGB decor props in the whole display. That was it. We had about 46,000 individual LEDs in the whole thing. I used 8 Phoenix Ray heads on the roof, and then 2 Phoenix Ray prototype heads on the roof, and 8 water pumps to make my show this year. So that was all of it.
Did you take notes on what your show was?
No, why?
Are you reading off your notes at the bottom?
I'm just reading off. That's all I have is the questions, sir.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I'm just trying to hit all the questions. And my pigtail preference is M Connect, but I also used a lot of X Connect because that's what I had. Useful hardware. I use DJ Truss to mount my moving heads on. I think that is super useful. What do you think, Brian?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. So we are going into a new segment that the show has never had. It's Hot or Not. It used to be a show hosted by my good friend Keith Peffer.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith is way too busy making San Jose's Christmas in the Park work to be able to do a show anymore. So we're going to do a quick Hot or Not. I'm going to ask Brian a couple questions about products, trends, or ideas, and Brian's going to tell me if he thinks they're hot or not. So, you ready for this?
Oh, I am very curious about it. Yeah, go ahead.
That's about it. All right. So here we go with the hot or not. All right. What do you think of Pebble/seed lights?
I love them in the right application.
So are they hot or not?
Hot.
Okay. M Connect.
Very hot. I love them. I love the concept of them.
Okay. And what do you think of the idea of new Coro props that are utilized seeds, pebbles?
No, not hot. It's reinventing the wheel. And I don't get it. I can see it on wireframe, different applications for it, but a coral prop that already takes the Evo, the traditional 12-volt bullet, it's already there. It's already done. You get the same effect out of it. I think it's the overcomplication. I don't get it.
Okay. And that's all the hot or nots. And then everybody in the comments, let's put your comments about those 3 topics and what you think is a hot or not. What your opinion about it is. So
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yep, that's it.
All right. So we're on to the rest of it, to the deep dive discussion. I think Brian should start asking questions first on this one.
All right.
Well,
I'm going to start off with the top one. What's your most popular prop?
The real tree.
The real tree? Really? I would have totally went with the fountains.
No. So people went wow over the fountains, but the real tree was the most, where could I get that? I want that for my house.
Nice.
I think the fountains were like too over the top for people where they thought they were cool and it was popular. But the most like I want thing was the real tree.
Nice.
So that was it. All right, Brian, what about you? What was your most popular prop at your display?
I got the most comments. I mean, people love the mega trees because I do run a lot of them. But I'm going to go back to the nativity scene because it's the reason for the season. And people loved it. And they especially loved it not being sequenced into the show as being the focal point in the center of the show. So I'm going to go with the nativity scene. So
nice. Very nice.
Do you ever have... Oh, what?
Forgot to mention this. This is the last episode to like, share, and subscribe to enter to win the 16-port receiver that we have to give away. We forgot. We said the banner last time, but we forgot to talk about it. So this is the last episode. So far we have a leader in this contest. He has liked it, shared it, and subscribed the most. So somebody could beat him after this episode, or if not, he's gonna win.
Nice.
But yeah, all right. We should go to the next question.
Okay, so have you ever had neighbor issues with your display, and how do you handle them?
So the old display, after it was on Light Fight and aired COVID year, we easily had 100,000 people in the street, and we didn't necessarily have problems with the neighbors because nobody complained. But I had a problem getting home, which was not fun. So that kind of ended that. That display got donated to History Park in San Jose. It gets put up in Christmas in the Parks drive-through now. But at the new house, so we bought the house before we aired on Light Fight. The person that owned it, rented it back, told all the neighbors to watch us. That made me very scared when I moved in, that either they were going to be like, you can't do this shit here, or I don't know. You know what I mean? I was worried about it. So I haven't had any issues, but everybody came home the first time I brought a lift home to put my RGB trim on my house. Everybody came over. And I was up on the lift and Cecilia was on the ground. And I was like, oh shit, this is going to be the talk. But everybody was excited because we have no street lights on our street and we get nobody for Halloween. And I was putting up Halloween lights and they were ecstatic. We have won the city's Halloween contest, or Halloween and Christmas contest the last 2 years. Christmas was the first year they did it this year and we won. So traffic has got a big uptick. And everybody seems to be happy with it, but I'm waiting for the day of not okay with it. So far we're so good. Everybody seems to like it, but I've seen it before, so I'm a little terrified.
Well, I want to know
in any way or anything like that because of that.
Well, I want to know what happened with the remodel that was done this past Halloween on the Crack and Flex Cube that you said you didn't have for Christmas because it got redesigned or something during Halloween.
So I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but somebody was visiting with an RV and tried to back it into the driveway and clipped it. So that was it.
Cousin Eddie. It's always Cousin Eddie.
Yeah. So, but yeah, okay. So it held up pretty good. It bent the concrete footer and the pole and broke only a few strands of lights, which I wanted to post about it and be like, look at what Crack and Flex does being hit by a car, because like barely any of it was broken. But then I also didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings because it was an accident. You know what I mean? So
I got you.
So yeah. So that's why we only had one for Christmas. All right. You want to tell us about the evolution of your display? Because your display has the evolution. My display has a sell it and build it again. So there's no evolution.
The evolution of my display is I change it every year. I change locations of the props. I move them around until I'm happy with it. And probably the biggest evolution is my mega trees, because I started out with 2 16 strip, 50 pixels high, 2-inch spacing, 8.5-foot trees. And they grew every year. They went 17. They went 100. Now they're 24 by 100. Now I'm going to have 150 by 32. So that's probably the biggest evolution, is one, going with some high definition props. I haven't added any of those for a while other than the ones that I already had. But the mega trees have grown because I don't have any trees out here. If anybody has seen pictures that I put up, it's pretty open. I got a nice view of the Rockies and all that, but the trees have grown. That's probably been the biggest is how the trees have grown every year.
Yeah, I think. Well, you did do that tunnel too. I thought was pretty cool.
I did the tunnel for COVID, so people could, and that was actually a huge hit. I need to bring that back because I mean it is a military town. You said you got 150,000 people that came by. I don't even have 150,000 in town, but a lot of people being a military town, their families, they can't always come visit and stuff. And I did the tunnel so they could do a video Christmas card, and that was really cool. Everybody loved it. A lot of them, I've even held the camera for people as I was out there handing out candy canes. They're like, "Hey, can you hold the camera so I can, do a card for my mom that's in, Oklahoma or something?" So I'm like, "Of course." So yeah, that was really cool, and I do need to definitely bring that back.
So this is another question just for you because I pretty much start fresh every year. If you could start fresh today, what would you do differently?
If I knew I was going to be working for a boss that loved X Connect for years, I would have started out with X Connect instead of Ray Wu. But X Connect was just coming onto the scene in 2018. I was ordering directly from overseas, and the point of contact, because I followed Canis Bader Christmas on his channel the entire year of 2018. I, went to Ray Wu and ordered all my stuff from there, and that's how I ended up with Ray Wu pigtails. So, but if I was going to start over, like I probably will this year, it'll be the pigtail change.
I've ever since we moved, I've started over every year because I test stuff at my house and then I sell it locally to people or tell people to just come pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I start again. So Cecilia has asked me not to do that again because it sucks to push pixels. Even though Evos are easier, it still sucks to push pixels every single year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
next year
definitely.
we will be adding stuff, but we will not be doing the whole show over again. So I might rearrange it and do different things. But yeah, a lot of what we're going to add is RGB decor props that are just ready to go too, because that made this year's change so much easier just to put all those snowflakes out and pushing all those snowflakes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you could travel anywhere, which we've gone to a lot of places nowadays, but what is the top 3 light shows you would go see in person?
Definitely yours. Because I really did like the way yours was set up. And I'm not saying that to be a ass kisser or brown noser. JR knows better than that. What?
My old one?
The one you just had this past year.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Because I mean, you can watch stuff over and over on YouTube or on the videos and stuff, and you don't get the wow factor as seeing it with the naked eye. Another one that I would love to go to is Ricky Gutierrez. I'd love to go see his and what he did to his. Again, watching it on the Great Christmas Light Fight and all that, it just doesn't give it justice.
Well,
and I would,
sad news. He
I
doesn't
know
anymore.
He's got his car thing going,
but he does it at a church now because he got overwhelmed with the traffic.
Yeah.
So I know he does a church, but I know it's not as grand as the house was.
Mm-hmm. And the last one, probably sticking to the Southeast, I'd go help him set up even, would be Tom Stallings. I would have loved to have seen when he had his show full blown and going.
Yeah.
To go out there and see it.
I wouldn't mind, like, for me, like going down to Florida and hitting all those guys.
Oh, yeah.
I think that counts as like one stop on this is going to Florida, going to see the Burtons, the Tom's House, Big Does, all those down there that were on the show, and then everybody else that is just our customers. Like, even I know Castle doesn't really do it as much. Stuff like that. Just I wish I would have got to go see all those people either before they were on the show or they quit, and see them now, because some of those people are still doing it and they're evolving. Like Tony does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool like that. Florida would definitely be on my list. A show that I do get to go see live. I didn't go this year, but Tom, I would go there again because it's an experience. It's very cool. And then the third one, I would probably have to go check out Kyle's drive-through.
Yeah.
I want to go see that. I think he did an excellent job on that. And if you're in the Michigan area, I would go check it out next year, because I heard it's going to be bigger and better. So, but yeah, I think Kyle's thing. But there's so many other displays too that we sell stuff to, and I want to go see. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff, and I get tons of videos from the customers, hey, this is what I did with your stuff, and it looks amazing. And I mean, I can't think of everybody's name off the top of my head, or I'd give you all a shout out. But yeah, I get videos all the time from people, hey, how's this look? Would you make any suggestions or anything like that? I'm like, dude, you nailed it. It's awesome. So,
hey,
what?
Look who just commented. Somebody's watching us right now.
What? Keith, dude.
Look at that, buddy. That's funny.
How come I'm not getting him in the
chat? He's there.
Oh man, I had it on the private chat, not the open.
Oh,
son of a gun.
What's up, buddy? It's been a long time.
Definitely. Wow. Oh, and the guy that plays Ace, the guy that plays with fireworks, that's Tom Beck George. That's the one JR was just talking about.
Yeah. What would be the best advice that you have for somebody getting into the hobby?
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Everybody wants to try to reinvent the wheel when they get into this hobby. And everybody wants to just start off with 30,000 lights, Evos. You know who I'm talking about. No. They want to just go overboard, and they get very overwhelmed. Don't overthink it.
That's 100%
simple.
Like, when I started full blown, I'm going to put a pixel show out, I had 1,600 pixels. It was a mega tree. That was the first year, because then I got everything figured out, and then I grew after that,
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to put on a full on production your very first year. I recommend simple. If it's like a mega tree or a few props, window frames, and the outline on the house, like, you don't need to go big the very first year. Like, because here's the thing too, it's like, you'll spend all this money and go huge the first year, and then you'll learn so much and be like, oh, I should have done this instead. Where you could still learn that lesson from doing smaller, 10,000 or less pixels first year, I think, is a must. Even 5,000 or less, really. I say 10,000 now because sometimes you could get a prop,
That has it all by itself. Yeah.
almost all of it, so you gotta, but back in the day, it was $3,000 or less, but that was when a prop most had 100 lights. That was like a big prop. So don't overdo it. Like, it's not, it's what's popular now, but like, don't go too big and over your head, because you're going to regret some of the purchases you make. You're going to not be happy with your end result, because you're going to be like, oh, I should have done it this way, but now I'm kind of stuck into this. Like, just take a dip in and like it, and then grow from there, and you'll know so much more when you go to expand,
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, my first year was only 5,700 pixels, and it was awesome show.
See, this is why Keith used to have a show on here. See, with this KISS, the keep it simple.
Yeah.
100% true. 100%. So, but yeah, that is, I think, the biggest advice. What do you think, Brian, is the next must-have prop?
I don't know if it's out yet. I don't know if I could say it. I got to go to a certain website real quick and check to see if it's there.
You could say
Um,
anything you want.
I just did. I don't even remember the name of it. I got to bring it up in my files. The celebration flake. I think that is so versatile. And then what was the other one? There was two of them that Biscoyo was coming out with. I mean, it's got big diamonds in it, small diamonds in it. It's very awesome. You could do so much with it. I think it's amazing, and I want to use it as my tree topper with the Kraken or with the Sasquatch mount and the wings, and put it up there so it's firm and not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because the Sasquatch mount, and this was actually a question in an email here a little while ago, what could be used for? So it can go above or below the topper. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
but not to plug or yes to plug. So yeah,
plug stuff now. It's
yeah.
It looks like Ace had a good thing. Best advice thing is definitely have a pro close by. I think that's definitely helps. It's not a necessity to get into this hobby, but it does help to go see somebody else's play, see how they did.
He lives in town.
He's calling you a pro?
Huh?
He's calling you a pro?
I hope not. Just somebody that knew a little bit of something to get him got started and may have given him some stuff. So
yeah. So I think what I think is the next most must-have prop. It might be spilling a little bit of beans here, but it might be our new Zeus tree. I think the ease that it's going to have and the price tag it's going to have, I think it's going to be the next must-have tree for your 16-foot needs. So
yeah,
R&D going on,
and
it'd be awesome.
I definitely want to throw out the moving heads as well. I mean, they are with Kyle's sequences that he does on them. They add everything to the show. So I definitely want to throw out the moving heads as well, the Phoenix Rays. So
yeah. All right. So what is the awkward or funny interaction you've had with a show visitor?
We've talked about this before in previous shows. Because I love people. I love and hate people. But I'm always out there. I have probably 3,000 candy canes out in my garage that didn't get put out this year. I like to go out and hand candy canes, but when I'm all bundled up and a big old beard and a dirty old hat, I look like a panhandler, especially if you've seen my bibs. I have to knock on the window. Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the guy up on that screen. Here's a candy cane. That's all I want to give you is candy canes for you and your family.
Brian used to have a professional trier shirt that said homeless or homeowner.
So yeah, that's probably the most awkward. And there's some that just will not roll down the window until, because I do a video, I do about a minute 45 video, just reminding people, parking, not blocking the driveway and stuff like that. And once I come up on the screen, this is what they see. And they're like, oh, that was that guy that was handing out candy canes. And then when I come back by, they'll roll down the window. Man, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a panhandler. So it does happen quite often. So
you show yourself on the screen.
I do. I put myself on the video. I have like I said, a minute and a half long video reminding people because I'm out here and I want to.
Oh, is it like you talking?
It is reminding.
That makes sense. I thought it was just like, this is my house.
No. I'm this guy walking around out there. But yeah, it is. It's Ace, how long is it? It's about a minute and minute 45. But
Plus it's
it's
cold.
just yeah. Plus, it is very cold out there. So yeah, I'm all bundled up, and I try to take the kids with me. My daughter likes to go out and say it's her show that she's doing, that she puts it on and helps dad out with it. So, but yeah, it's that's probably the most awkward is when I knock on a window, try to wave at somebody and say, I got candy canes. So
Yeah. We don't have really any awkward situations at the new house. We did have, like, right after the show aired, people coming to the door and trying to take pictures with us. That was kind of awkward. But
that's a good point. It is a long walk from and the jail is out on the frontage road.
wow.
County jail. So yeah.
Jeez.
Good point, Ace.
So, how is your show unique?
Trees and location. Because I could run at 1% brightness if I could, and it would still be just as bright because there's absolutely no light that I compete with around. But location, and then the amount of trees that I have, because I do love doing a lot of trees. So
Mine's unique because it's new.
custom. Oh yeah.
A lot of props that aren't available to everybody else until after I use them, till they become popular, and then James has to try to figure out how to make them for regular people. Not the guy who gets the pallet. If you could have anything in your display, what is like your dream prop?
Ooh, wow. I'd probably say a lot of the new stuff that my boss comes out with to test for him. I don't know.
This is the second time that he's brought up that I don't send him enough stuff, apparently.
Oh
I was
gosh.
jealous of Andy just being able to come grab stuff and take it, and Steve. I think Brian wants a chance at
Easy
the
for them.
defect bin. There's people that come to the shop regularly that say hi and then beeline it to the back of the shop to a wooden crate that I have.
Oh,
that
I'm
has
sure.
not necessarily defects, but like ideas I had that I didn't like. And then sometimes defects and stuff that weren't up to my standards. And it's kind of the free-for-all bin. One time I was going to take it to the SoCal Mini. I think it was the time Brian came to visit. But then we ended up having too much shit in the truck. So I was like,
Yeah.
it didn't go.
Nothing else would fit.
Because I was just going to be like, here, whatever, take it. But it's been disappearing a lot. People come visit and take whatever they want out of the discard bin. It's got all kinds of interesting samples and ideas that didn't quite pan out. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think Brian's a little jelly.
A little bit. Well, what about you then? What's the next must-have?
No, I already talked about the must-have. I don't have a dream prop because everything I come up with is something I dreamed of.
It is literally a dream come true. Yeah.
So we don't need to go into the vendor part of the questions because yes, we are vendors, but we don't need to talk about that a little bit more than we already do. We'll answer those questions throughout the times on this show. Anybody who's watching have any questions for any of us real quick before we move on to rapid fire questions?
Ace wants disco lights.
What are disco lights?
I don't know.
I'm curious what disco lights are. Ace, what are
Elaborate on that.
Nope. Ace stopped watching us once we said that.
Uh-oh.
All right. Are you ready, Brian?
I'm ready. Oh,
are you ready?
Son of a gun! I got my old ones over there. All right. Fire away.
Ready for the RGB decor rapid fire questions? Boom. Look at that. We got a background and everything. Okay. Normally it's me and Brian asking a guest on the show these rapid fire questions, but we're going to go back and forth and ask each other them. I'm going to go first because Brian's apparently not ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm looking at him.
All right. This is one of my go-tos that I've been asking for all the years we've been doing this. What color is your toothbrush?
Black.
Black. All
Black.
right.
Oral-B. What is the worst animal name that you could think of? Pet name.
Animal pet name?
Yeah.
A real person's name.
Really? I totally disagree.
It drives me crazy when somebody's dog is like named Steve.
Oh. Now, Biscuit that's laying right beside me, I'd call him George.
Really, if it was up to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That bugs me. When you meet the real person and be like, oh, that's somebody's dog. It just feels awkward. You know what I mean?
Yep. I got you.
People name their dogs real names. Now, my dog is named Sylvie, which is kind of could be a real person's name, but it's a superhero's name, kind of. I don't know if she's a villain or a superhero yet, but yeah. All right.
Comics or Marvel?
It's Marvel. So my parents have the litter mate to my dog, and their dog is the male, and they call him Thor.
Okay.
They have the female, and in the Loki show, there's a girl variant of Loki called Sylvie. So technically we have a Loki, but it's Sylvie. So it's Thor and Loki, but it's Thor and Sylvie.
I got you. Okay.
So that, yeah, we just nerded out a little bit.
Loki was a while ago.
Why is it called a building if it's already built?
Because it's occupied. I guess buildings can be vacant too.
Yeah.
Because it's a structure.
But it's built already.
It is. I don't know.
All right. Go ahead.
If you could swap lives with a famous person because you're not famous enough, according to your hat, what person would you be?
I am famous enough. Who would I want to have? Probably Johnny. No.
Start over.
Yeah. He's pretty famous. No, I have no clue. I don't know.
You got nobody like, man, I'd love to be in his shoes.
No. I've never even thought about that. Have you?
Yeah.
Who?
John Wayne.
That'd be cool.
In that era, not in today's era, I'd love to go back to his era.
I guess like it would be kind of cool to be the guy who played Thor. I don't know. I don't even know his name.
somebody will tell us here in a second.
I'm pretty happy with my life.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if I want to be that famous. If a Smurf chokes, what color is it?
Looking at that one. Purple. I was just looking at that one. Totally purple. You got to turn something. They're going purple. If you're walking down a sidewalk, what's the most awkward thing you could say to somebody passing by?
You stepped in it?
Are you telling them or are you asking them?
I don't know.
Would you step in?
I don't know if it's awkward or just more of a joke. I have no clue.
Right.
It's already awkward to walk by people.
Now there'd be all kinds of stuff if we were at Transworld. What we could say.
Oh,
to
that's
people
a
walking
different
down
thing.
the-
I'm a little sad I'm not going to Transworld. Trust me.
I know. I'm like, man, today would be flight day. Tomorrow's setup day.
If anybody is close to Transworld and it's not going, it's worth the drive. Trust me. I know I'm not going to be there, but it's still worth the drive. It's a great show. You got to go see Transworld.
Oh yeah,
Go
just
check it out.
for the experience. It's awesome.
Go see all the stuff. Go to the parties. The people that run it are great. It's a great event. And trust me, if I could be there, I would be there. So, not fun. All right. One more question each because rapid fire is taking a little bit longer.
All right.
A little bit longer than it normally does because we have to do this to each other. If you had to pick between fighting 100 horse-sized ducks or a duck-sized horse, what would you fight?
100 ducks.
Okay.
As long as I had electrical tape, because all you got to do is just grab their bill and wrap it, and then
You wouldn't use duct tape?
duct tape.
Yeah.
No, I would use electrical tape like they do on gators.
All right. All right.
If you could rename Monday, what would you call Monday?
Brian.
Brian Day. Because I suck. I was thinking it's Suck Day. That's what Mondays are.
I'm not allowed to say. I would rename.
Holy cow, that was loud. Oh, man. Did you see Brian as John Travolta? Yeah, no. I could be. Yeah, staying alive. 70s.
Well, at your age.
Bell bottoms. I had bell bottoms. I got a picture somewhere that's in color, barely.
Nobody wants to see that.
All right. We're done with them.
We're done with them. We are done with the rapid fire questions. We're having a good time. All right. So, anybody have any rapid fire questions for us? I got to get used to that.
Disco light. Yeah, he's totally in the 70s.
No,
Thanks, Ace.
Disco lights.
Yeah.
You
And
said
then he,
disco lights. You said Brian wants them. Look, disco lights. Brian wants them. And Keith was like light pixel globes. So we're still trying to figure out what Ace is considering disco lights, but you want them.
I got to figure out DMX a little bit more. I did learn some
Is that
stuff.
what that is? It's moving heads. Is that what disco lights are?
It might be.
You have moving heads. You just haven't used them.
I do. I got to get out. I got to still start building the bracket for him.
Truss works.
The truss.
All right. So, oh man, I still haven't put a social media link in the banner that's growing across the bottom. God, we're still trying. We're still trying. So, little recap of the show. Next week, we'll have Lee Lundquist with us on the show. I'm going to ask him these questions, see what he's been up to, how he's been. We will, we will give away the controller receiver next week when you like and share all this good stuff from that. Like and share and receive a 16-port receiver free to the person that gets randomly picked for doing it the most. So whoever does it the most, every time you do it, you will get put into the little wheel. We'll spin the wheel and that person will win. So you can't like it multiple times, but shares are what you could multiply. So there's that. Anything else? Have fun, people at Transworld. Take lots of pictures and videos and show us. It'd be fun if I was there. but I'm
Yeah.
not.
It would be fun.
Yeah. Anything
But
else?
do we want to bring up the East Coast?
Oh, yes, we will be at the East Coast Haunters Convention. We will be at SoCal. Well, I think, wait, is it Florida? Right? Florida's next.
I don't even know when
I
Florida
don't know.
is.
But we're going to Florida. We're going to SoCal. We're going to East Coast. We're going to Heartland. We're going to. There was a few more that I was going to, too. Pretty sure I'm going to New York, Bobby.
Oh, I'd love to go to New York.
And there was something else. I think I'm going. I don't know. I was going to Washington this year, but SoCal happened to put it on the same day. That kind of sucks. So I can't go to Washington, which I want to. I wanted to go to Boscoyo,
The
but
open house.
yeah, but I already told Heartland I was going, and I'm not going to not do what I said. So, we're going to the Nashville one too. I forgot about that. That's the other one we're going to, Nashville. We're taking a whole posse to Nashville. Else? I think that's it. If you have a minute or something, let us know. We'll try to make it or try to get somebody there to make it.
We'll try to send gift bags.
Yes, we will send. If you're having a mini or something, email support@matosdesigns.com and Brian will get you set up to get your mystery bag sent to your event. Fastest way to do it, tell us how many you think are going to be there and the shipping address and stuff like that. And that way we know how many mystery bags to try to pack you, because we want everybody to leave with something, not necessarily from us, but hopefully from everybody else is being generous. And we definitely want the new people to get stuff. So cool stuff. So we do the mystery bag. So we make sure everybody gets something, and it just makes it easier that way, where it's a secret. But yeah, I think that's everything, Brian. We good?
We should be good.
We done at exactly an hour because I gotta go. So
I think I'm catching a cold. But might have to.
I apologize now if nothing ships well this week, because when I leave, it does anything.
Rochelle's got my back. Is she watching? Probably not. No, we'll get everybody taken care of. More stuff's coming in, and as stuff comes in, it does ship. So it's not sitting on the floor, not doing anything.
Yep. Oh, the other thing. There's a video that we'll put the link for in here about the cruise. We still have some rooms available for the light show mini at sea. Cruise to Alaska over July. Sign up now because those rooms will go away shortly. There is some rooms available. It's a great time. It is more than just a mini. You actually get to bring your family. Families get to hang out. You have meals with each other. You end up with lifelong friends from this trip. It's a great fun. Brian's been on one. He's had a great time. His whole family went. We went to Disneyland after that, and they couldn't hang with Disneyland regulars, but they had fun. But yeah, you definitely end up with lifetime friends, sitting at dinner, making friends, having meals with people over a few nights and seeing them more than just for the mini is a great experience and a lot of fun. So sign up when you can, miniatsea.org, and we'll have a link to the video of people who were on it talking about how much fun it is. So yeah. Anything else, Brian?
That's all I got.
All right. We will see you guys next week. It might be a little later. Hopefully it's Tuesday. I don't know when I come home. Probably check that. Still the guest, but I don't know. I think I am home.
All right.
But yeah, if you don't see us at the regular scheduled time on Tuesday, you know why. But yeah, I'm excited for Lee. It's going to be a great time. So we'll see you later.
Have a good one.